Hello, serhii. Thank you for your email. I thought that the best way to answer your questions would be for me to just go through your assignment with you in this video and try to answer the questions that you sent me. You were asking, first of all, about the the vertical asymptote. So the reason that I wrote the comments that I did for the first question, first of all, the asymptote in this question is asking you if it has a vertical or a horizontal asymptote. So the answer we're looking for there would be, in this case, yes, a vertical asymptote. And the second question is asking you to provide the equation of the asymptote. Now, y equals x minus 3 is not the equation of the asymptote, and there is no such thing as an asymptote of symmetry. So I'm not sure where you found that. I know it was not included in the lesson for this topic. There's no such thing as that term. So what we're looking for there for the equation of the asymptote is y equals 3. Okay, so that's what I was trying to point out to you, was that this here didn't make any sense at all. Okay, so now if we move on to question 2, give me a minute here. My iPad is acting up a little bit, so that writing won't move. You can see I've got the wheels spinning here and it won't stop. I don't know what's wrong with it. So in question 2, it was the same idea. For this function, this is an exponential function, but it's a reciprocal function. And so if you draw the function itself, what it's going to look like is a curve like that. Now, we can clearly say that that curve is always going to stay above the x-axis. And you asked about the x equals 0 and y equals 0. And I think what you're saying is that you believe that x equals 0 is equivalent to no asymptote. And that's not true. The x equals 0 is a line on the graph, and that's the y-axis, because all the values along the y-axis are x equals 0, like 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, and so forth. Y equals 0 is the x-axis. I have to change colors here so you can see that. Y equals 0 is the x-axis. So that's a line on the graph also. And in this case, y equals 0 is the equation of the asymptote for number 2. And so we should write y equals 0 here. And we should write that we have a vertical asymptote. I'm sorry, that's left over from the last question, a horizontal asymptote, when it asks us whether we have one or the other. So this question's a little bit different because we usually look for asymptotes in the denominator, but sometimes an equation can have an asymptote even though it doesn't have a denominator. And this is one example, because if we have a positive base raised to an exponent, we'll never get a negative answer. We won't even get an answer of 0. It's impossible. So all the y values have to be positive for this function, and so that's what determines the fact that we have a horizontal asymptote. It's a line that this function will never cross. So again, I apologize for it being messy, but I have scrolled down here, and I'm going to change colors so we can keep track of what we're doing here. And you asked, your next question was about number 5, and so after reading your email, I've looked again at your question, and I see what you've done there. It wasn't the answer I was expecting, but I see what you've done, and you've worked it out so that you got the values that were asked for there. And you're right also that if we have a vertical asymptote of x-intercept of 1, that would occur at the point 1, 0. And that also would fit the equation that you gave. So you're actually correct there. I'm sorry, I just was not, that wasn't the answer that I was expecting. in general, I get a different answer for that one, but you have solved it a different way, and I can see now that that is correct. So I will adjust your mark accordingly for that one. So I hope that that helps answer your questions about that assignment. If you find the videos helpful, please let me know, and in the future what I can do is make you a video for any corrections and feedback for your assignments. But please make sure that you're reading each lesson and following the examples that are provided there, because that's what I'm looking for, is for you to follow that exact form that I'm using in the lesson examples when you're doing your assignment questions. Okay, thank you.